on about a new thing that we are developing as part of the Pegasus team. It's called the Pegasus Hub. And I'm just going to give a little bit of a glimpse what we are trying to do here. So basically, we started from, we get to hear a lot from the community saying collections of workflows exist. There are a lot of repositories, but they do not come with an execution capabilities. So, inspired by the NF Core, there is Nextflow and also Workflow Hub that they are trying to do similar efforts to the community to collect this kind of workflows and make it more accessible to the community. We start also working on a tool that we are calling Pegasus Hub. That it's there's a disclaimer here that it'll be officially released with Pegasus 5.1. So the idea here is to have a community-based enabled workflows repository for Pegasus. So we would like the community to share the workflows, and we are also starting sharing our own workflows that are having training workflows or workflows, for example, that Patricia mentioned. Some of the ML workflows will be part here too. So we are, the idea is really to the community have a place to share the common workflows, but also that we provide examples, metadata, workflow releases. You talk about what are the dependencies for that workflow, what kind of license, how you can use that workflow to really do a simple execution, but also that could be more elaborated executions or complex executions of these workflows. And this is extremely helpful, at least for us as the research side, that we can understand how these workflows work, and continue developing new capabilities and tools and doing optimizations for Pegasus. And also for the community, so they can see other examples and understand how other people are developing workflows. And sometimes you can get very nice insights, from that. So what is behind that? How we are building this Pegasus Hub? So basically, everything is on GitHub. So it's open source and it's open for the community. And the way we work is there is a website that is developed using Jekyll technology. And what we do is all the users, they have their own Pegasus enabled workflow GitHub repository. And our one requirement is that this repository should be public, not private. So that you host your source code, the documentation, running how to run a simple examples and metadata. And you're gonna, create a pull request to us in our repository to add into this workflows.yaml file, just basically the organization that your repository is and the repository name. What we do is the Pegasus team, is going to evaluate this repository to check to sure that it's a curated repository, everything is working fine. The examples work fine, documentation is enough. And then once this is approved, what it does, it's gonna use GitHub Actions automatically, be fetching updates from your repository. So currently we set up cron jobs that runs every 6 hours, and it's fetching an update you do automatically in your repository. In addition to that, if you want, and we strongly recommend, it's that in your workflow repository, you add this .pegasushub.yaml file that we are still building and define a set of metadata information that you can provide, that it's gonna make these pages look much nicer and more understandable, comprehensive, and also attractive for the users. There is also another point that is quite useful from the hub, and it's a work that George is doing an amazing work on that, is connecting the Pegasus Hub to Pegasus Init. So Pegasus Init, for those who doesn't know it, it's a tool that provides a way to start your workflow. So if you want to build up some example workflows, you use Pegasus Init. There is a large documentation on that, and it's gonna generate workflows for you, so you can start doing some training workflows. So what we do is all these training workflows now are going to become part of the Pegasus Hub. And what Pegasus Init does is automatically fetch the description of these workflows to run, to be able to run for you these examples. And also, what is interesting here, it's because if you, as part of the community, want to contribute some workflow that might become a training workflow, we can always discuss on that and work on these kind of integrations. One thing that is interesting to know about the difference about the training workflow and the workflow examples that will be here is that the training workflows we're going to spend a considerable amount of time, curating them and ensuring that they work in a number of different platforms. While some of the examples workflows that will be on the Pegasus Hub, it will be tied to a specific platform. For example, it's going to say, oh, to run this workflow, you need to be on OSG, or to run this workflow, you need to be on this other place because the example, it's set up for that. Doesn't prevent you to migrate into other platform, but we ensure that the example, it's going to work for that kind of platform. So the good thing about the presenting that at Pug, it's because we got to learn about a lot of users and potential new users. So if you're a current or future Pegasus user, you're invited to contribute and start contributing today. You can reach out to us on Slack or via email, and we'll be happy to provide you more information and start working with you on how we can integrate your workflows to benefit not only your research, but the entire community. So thank you.